Hello, my name is Ayomiko. I'm a medical doctor in the NHS in the UK. If this is your first time on this channel, this is step plan explained, and it's a channel that was created to help international medical graduates in the registration as a medical doctor in the NHS in the UK. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button. This will ensure that you get notifications when we release new videos. Also, click on the like button. Also, share with your friends. This will also encourage us to make more videos when you do this. Thank you very much. So today, I'll be talking about what to do after getting to the UK. So if you've done an interview, you've been successful and you're happy, you've get a contract, you're happy with it, you've signed a contract, and now you've relocated to the UK for your first job. What are the things that you need to sort out? Because many people come and they waste precious time trying to not actually knowing what next to do. Or some people, by the time they know what next to do, they are a bit behind schedule. They are already losing weeks of work already, or weeks of getting paid already. So there are some people that they've had to actually spend like 2-3 weeks up to a month in the UK without actually working. So it's quite expensive to live in many places in the UK. And when you're here and you're not working and you're not getting paid for that period, then it's like it ruins it could ruin someone's finances. That's it, to be honest. So you need to get to start working as soon as possible. So what are the things you need to sort out? So the first thing when you get to the UK is you need to get your BRP. You need to get your PRP. That's your resident permit. If you're an IMG, so you need to get your BRP. That's the first thing that you need to do. Sometimes this should usually be ready within 10 days of relocating to the UK, but sometimes it could take a bit longer. So that's what you need to do. Then the other thing that you need to do is you need to usually you would have informed your trust that of the date of entry into the UK. So they would know that you are getting in. So when you get to the country, you need to let the HR know that you are in the UK already. So you should arrange your occupational health screening. So the trust will organize an occupational health screening for you, where they test the person for various diseases or various infection. So you need to book it, and you ideally will not be able to start working unless you get the result of this test back. So it's important that you book it as soon as possible so it doesn't delay you to start your job. So another thing that you need to do is to register with a bank, because if you don't have a bank account, you will not get paid. I'm going to do a review on banks soon, on all the banks in the UK. I'm going to do a review on them soon. But the common banks that are commonly used by international medical graduates are, one, Monzo Bank. Monzo is very good because they don't operate physical banks. It's mainly online, and this makes it a bit easy because you don't have to actually go into a bank to open your account. You can open your account on your phone. Another bank that is commonly used by the international medical graduate is HSBC. HSBC is very good because they offer credit card easily. Also, you need to know who your educational supervisor is. And within the first 3 months of you working, you should ideally meet with your educational supervisor. The educational supervisor will help you to set your goals, set your targets, things you want to achieve. This is very good, especially if you're just entering into the UK. And educational supervisor can be very, very supportive. If you have challenges, you can talk to them. For example, in my current job, I have a very supportive educational supervisor who has pushed me to achieve a lot of things in my current job. So having a very good educational supervisor really helps you to let your career move at a very high rate. So you know the things that you need to achieve. You set goals and they push you to achieve these goals. That is one thing about education. So you should meet with your educational supervisor. And it is important for your appraisal. So you need to meet with your educational supervisor within your first 3 months. So you need to get an e-portfolio. There are a number of e-portfolios that are being used in the UK. And what does this e-portfolio mean? They are simply an electronic format of your competencies and the things you've achieved. So your competency, feedbacks, things you achieved, but you are going to get to know more about this when you actually start working in the UK, what the e-portfolio is. Also, you need to register with an indemnity organization. So there are a number of indemnity organizations in the UK. So they are like medical insurance organizations and or medical law organizations. So what do they do? In case one should be a victim or one should be involved in a medical legal case, they would be able to provide support and representation for you if one is involved in a medical legal case or one has to be referred to GMC for any reason. One could say that no, I'm not never going to have a medical legal case. I'm never going to be referred to GMC, but you never know. There's nobody that have been referred to the GMC or had a medical legal case that actually wanted it. You never know. It could happen in the even if you're not at fault, it could just happen for some reasons, and you just need someone to represent you. So if you're not a member, you could get to pay a lot of money for this, for your medical insurance. You could get to pay a lot of money if you're not registered with a defense organization. So you need a defense organization. You need a you need someone that will be able to stand up for you. So that's it about indemnity. Even though many trusts will cover you if you have medical legal issues, they will be able to provide support for you. But it's important that you have your own. It's very important that you have your own. There have been occasions whereby trusts have reported some doctors to GMC. So what if your trust takes you to GMC? What do you want to do? So the trust that will take you to GMC, do you expect them to also defend you at the same time? So it could happen. So that's why you need to have your own defense organization. Then apart from that, especially if you're doing locums outside of your trust, it is even more important that you have a representative, a legal representative, a medical insurance. You need to put it in place. So because I've talked about indemnity, there's also what we call pressure organization, pressure groups or associations, things like BMA, that's British Medical Association. So these associations, some people ask me, why do I have to join the British Medical Association? It's important that you are a member of the British Medical Association because they can offer support where your medical insurance cannot offer you support. So in a lot of cases, your medical insurance or your defense union or your defense organization may not step in unless you have a case in court or you have a case with the GMC. At times as a doctor, you could have a case or an issue with your trust itself. So they may not report you to GMC, but you could have a case with your trust. You could have an issue with them, or someone reported you to your trust, or you just have to do something. You just have an issue you have to settle with your trust. So you need someone to give you advice. In these cases, your defense union may not be able to do much, but when you have associations like British Medical Association, they would be able to step in and guide you in these particular cases. So, and also apart from this, if you have there are some issues that come up, such as rotal issues, leave issues. If you feel that you are being unjustly treated in your job, maybe you feel that your pay is not commensurate with what you should be earning, you feel that you are doing too many number of hours than you should be doing, or you have issues with your contract and you feel your trust is breaching your contract, BMA is where to go. British Medical Association is where to go. And also in even people that are having large-scale lawsuits. So if there should be a really big lawsuit against you, you can never be too prepared for these things. Nowadays, we are in the era of social media. We are in the era of pressure groups. And sometimes even before a case gets to court, the public opinion could actually matter in many cases. So sometimes the court could, based on the public opinion, the court could be under the public opinion's pressure. So you need everything to be going for you. So sometimes even if someone have a very good case, when the public opinion is overwhelmingly against that person, it can be a very difficult judgment in an otherwise a case that they could have won easily. So you need pressure groups such as BNA that would be able to give you the appropriate support, be able to give you the appropriate pressure. That's why some of them they refer to as pressure groups at times. They could, if they feel that you are actually right, and maybe the public do not have the access to the information that they have, and they think that you are right, they may be able to educate the public. They may be able to help you in this regard, give you the public support that you need. You need someone to stand up for you publicly when you are right and you feel you are being unjustly charged. You need someone to stand up for you publicly. So in this case, if the British Medical Association should stand up for you, it counts. It tends to influence public opinions for you. So these are the kind of things that you need them for. So there are some people that they feel that yeah, they've done the right thing, but they are in court. They are facing a big charge that could lead to them losing their jobs, sometimes going to the prison, and they're actually right. But if they have the public opinion overwhelmingly against them, it could be a difficult case for them. In a case that would be very easy. So you need defense organizations to speak for you. You need your pressure groups to speak for you. You need people to stand up for you publicly. So that is where BMA comes in. Another thing that you should do when you get to the UK is to register for the ALS. It is important for every doctor to be ALS certified, because when you're on call, you have crash calls every time, and you need to put your ALS knowledge into application. So it is important that all doctors have ALS training. This should be done as soon as possible when you get into the UK. It's important that you do it ASAP. It is one of the urgent things to be done when you get to the UK. Other things that you could consider doing is taking membership exams. And if you're interested in going for a formal training leading to a CCT certificate, you should start thinking about your training, and if you are able to start taking membership exams. Some of the membership exams are not compulsory to go into training, but it's really a good thing to actually consider them, such as the Royal College of Physicians, of Royal College of Surgeons exams, and many of the Royal Colleges exams. So you could actually take one of those. It actually helps you when you then get into training. It reduces your exam burden if you can take some of these exams. So it is very, very important, and it is very, very achievable to actually take this exam. So for example, I took my MRCP Part 1 within my first 3 months of getting to the UK, and my MRCP Part 2, I took it like about 6 or a couple of months after that. I think about 6 months after I took my MRCP Part 2. So I was able to write both my MRCP Part 1 and Part 2 within my first year of getting to the UK. So these are the kind of things that you can achieve when you get in the UK. So you should consider doing them. They help to boost your confidence. It helps your colleagues to respect you more, and it helps you to actually gain more knowledge and be able to contribute more, especially doing ward rounds. When you're looking after your patients, you have the needed knowledge to actually properly look after this patient. So you can actually consider doing those exams. Then one thing that it's quite important for doctors to be able to do in the UK is to be able to drive. As soon as you settled in, you should apply for your provisional driving license. When you get your provisional driving license, you can then start driving lessons, and you can then book your theory test. I would really encourage every doctor that migrates to the UK to do this within the first year of getting to the UK, because it saves you a lot of stress. Sometimes getting around in public transport can really take time, can be really stressful, and especially when you finish late at night, it can be so stressful to start taking public transport when you finish by 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. So you could, if you don't have a car at this point, then it could be a challenge for you. So driving, it's very important for a doctor, and sometimes, especially for those in training, you could be moving between sites. You could have to work at one site to the another site tomorrow, and you have to move between sites. So you need to be able to drive to make this easy for you. And for your rotations, some people rotate hospitals that could be up to 2 hours apart. So if you're not able to drive, you might have it's really a logistic problem when you're not able to drive. So it's important as a doctor that you know how to drive. Apply for your professional license as soon as possible when you get into the country. You should apply for a professional license, start driving, taking driving lessons, get your theory test done, do your practical test, and when you pass, it makes life easy to be able to drive. I hope this video has been able to help you to understand what are the things that you need to do when you get to the UK. Thank you very much.